family. We are back with another great edition of Building Rapport. Today, we got a fun guest, only our second defensive lineman, but joining us today is defensive tackle Marquis Burks. Marquis, thanks for joining us, man. All right, Marquis, I want to get this discussion today kicked off talking a little bit about how things have gone in the weight room this spring. So, we've heard from your teammates a little bit about year 2 of the Bryan Harsin, Jeff Pittman strength and conditioning programs. How are you guys doing from a strength and conditioning standpoint? Do you guys feel stronger? Are you guys doing any different things in the weight room that we should know about?
We most definitely are stronger. You feel me? When it comes to lifting weights, Coach Pitt, he got us doing our thing, man. He loading on the weight. You feel me? He making us strain every day. And then conditioning wise, he kills us every time. Every time he get us good. Today we just started running the decks today in the stadium. We did that this morning at 6:00 in the morning after we did agility drills.
Follow-up question. So are you guys more strength focused right now or conditioning focused? How did those training sessions work?
It's both. So we usually run before we lift.
Okay, so before each training session, you guys will get a run in and then focus on strength after that?
Yep. So we'll go in the indoor, we'll have our team run, we'll do our thing there, and then we'll transition into we'll put our cleats away and put our shoes on and transition into the weight room to get to lifting.
All right, Marquis. I want to talk about just kind of your journey to Auburn, right? So you came in and you're from Chicago. What made you decide that you wanted to come down south where the big boys play in the SEC, and what led to the decision to be at Auburn and stick in here for this senior year of yours?
It started in Chicago, but Auburn wasn't the second step. Second step was JUCO. I went to Iowa.
For sure. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I went to Iowa Central, did my thing. I did my 2 years out there, graduated my associate's degree. And I was starting to take visits and stuff everywhere. And Auburn really it stuck out to me. I felt comfortable here when I came down on my visit. The coaches, they was amazing to me and my family. And it's just like when I got down here, it was just like the people too. The people at Auburn, like everybody around here is so nice. And it seemed like you ain't really got to worry about anything out here.
Who was your primary recruiter?
I had Coach G and Harbin.
Okay. So yeah. Would you say that your relationship with them would be like, if anything stood out as the primary reason you chose Auburn, would it have been your recruiter, your position coach, head coach?
Really, it was like why I came to Auburn. It wasn't really for a coach, for real. I appreciate those coaches, you feel me, for even giving me the opportunity to come here for one. But really, it was more about the school, you feel me, where I felt like what school gave me the best opportunity to do what I need to do. And I felt like Auburn met that criteria.
All right, so we talked a little bit about strength and conditioning, and I want to talk about how much stronger you guys are. We talked to John Samuel Schenker. He said that a lot of you guys are hitting PRs in the weight room right now. Can you talk about the competition that's maybe going on in the weight room right now? Who's throwing up the most weight right now? Who holds the crown?
I say on bench, it's between Keandre Jones and Marcus Harris.
Okay,
Marcus Harris.
Yeah,
I got you.
Marcus Harris.
What's he throwing up though? What's his max? What's he maxing?
They are, I believe it's like 425 or something like that. Okay. Yeah, those guys, they really like throwing the whole house.
Okay, that's four plates on each side, so that's significant.
Yeah. Squat though, with squat, Jarquez, he holds the record right now.
That's
with
crazy.
I believe 625, and then KJ would be like right around him. Keandre right around him.
Okay, Keandre out there beasting on the weights. I hear you.
Yeah. Quick follow up to that then, because again, you play defensive line, so you're gonna be trying to tackle a lot of these running backs.
Yeah.
What kind of advantage does a running back have against a tackle like yourself being able to squat 600 pounds, like what advantage and leverage does that strength give you on the field on Saturday?
I would say that for like the running backs and stuff like that, as long as like with them, if they keep their feet moving, you feel me, it's harder to bring them down. It's harder to bring them down. One guy who's like extremely hard to bring down is Sean Jackson.
Mm.
Sean Jackson, he ain't easy to take down at all. He run like a bowling ball.
Mm.
Looking forward to seeing him in
Yeah.
the short yardage this season. You talked about Keandre Jones in the weight room, so that brings me to this. What is it like when he's blocking you? Like, is he like your toughest challenge out there on the offensive line? Who's the guy that gives you problems in practice week in and week out? It's like, I got to line up against this dude right now, or you beasting everybody. What's up with that?
Everybody had their days.
Yeah.
Had their days. So it was really 50-50 all around the board, honestly. Like in practice, I say the person that gave me the hardest time, Nick Brahms.
Okay.
No, okay,
Nick
Brahms.
versus in pass rush, Nick Brahms. I say Nick Brahms because he know how to use his leverage real good.
Mm-hmm.
He know how to use it. He know who he going against. He know if he need to sit back some or if he need to jump the snap. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. That's
All
good
right.
to hear.
Are you guys doing ones versus ones a lot in practice, or like what is the competition like? How they got it set up?
So during the season, in practice, we do one-on-ones every day. Season, fall camp, spring, we do one-on-ones every day, like every single day. Not a day go by where we don't do it. We do one-on-ones. We go down the line. We just rotate in and out. Line up on both sides. Switch it up, and really just showcase. That's the time to pull out your moves, to try anything you want. If you got some move in your head that you want to do, you just go for it then. But one-on-ones is every day, every single day.
Is it first team versus first team though, when you're lining up like a unit wise?
No, it's more like with one-on-ones. It's more, you feel me? It's just individual going down the line. So it'll be the tackles and the edges. There go. Then next would be a 3-tech and a guard, and then either a shade or in the center, and it just keep going down the line, and then flip back to the other side, and guys just rotate after they turn.
Okay.
Right. So if what you're talking about with Brahms, I mean, how many chances are you getting during the week to go up against Brahms in practice to test? You know what I mean?
A week. We practice a solid 3 hard times a week. So like during the season. So I say during the season you get a good, I say about 12.
Okay.
I get about 12. Sometimes I get him, he get me.
I get you or me.
I said sometimes. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was just repeating what I said. Like sometimes, you feel me, he get me, I get him. Sometimes it's 50-50 everywhere.
How intense is this competition and the trash talk?
I say between the O line and the D line it's crazy. It's crazy. We talk crazy. It's so many, like we get into fights and everything. Like we got all out brawls.
Yes.
Like you feel me? But at the end of the day, we still brothers though. In the locker room, it's always smiles and stuff. But on the field, we come to compete because you feel me. When you compete more, that brings winning attitude to you. Bring winning attitude to the team, and especially with the O line and D line, you feel me. We basically run everything. Can't nothing happen without us. So really, to bring that attitude to the team, it get other players more motivation.
Right. Do you feel like under Coach Bryan Harsin, the competition aspect has maybe increased a little bit for the team? Is it the same? Like, do you guys feel
definitely? Because with Harsin, he don't care who you are. You gotta show your worth. You gotta show that you're that guy. You feel me? So it's more you gotta prove yourself every day.
All right. So speaking of proving yourself, what are the things that you have set as goals for yourself for this upcoming season? Do you have any personal goals? I know the overall goals for the team, but do you have any personal goals? And what things have you been doing outside of the normal practice to get yourself prepared for your senior season?
One of my goals is to lead the SEC in defensive run grade. Last year, like around the first 5 or 6 weeks, I had like the first or the second highest grade in the whole nation, and I felt like I was doing my thing until I ended up getting hurt.
Right.
Arkansas game. So really to maintain my status on the run side of the ball, and then for pass rushing, I really want to get at least 6 more sacks than what I had last season. I had three or four last season, and I feel like I could do way better than that, honestly. And so I've been working on my pass rush a lot. I've been at home training and stuff. I've been working with my old 707 coach actually. He's a head coach up there at one of the high schools. I've been working with him and they kids and stuff too, just teaching them stuff and just being able to work on my own craft at the same time.
That takes me into my next question is about off-season work that you guys get in on your own. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're doing on your own this off-season to get better? Because you guys only get so many hours in the facility. So
Yeah.
What kind of stuff are you doing on your own?
We got player run practice, so that's coach got a set of drills or whatever for us to do during the end. We'll do them, but really on my own extra, I'll stay extra a little bit after, you feel me? Just work on some little things, because little things matter the most, honestly. And it's when you work on that little things and the little techniques and stuff like that, you bring along a couple extra guys with you too. You feel me? So to watch the whole team grow.
Okay, so Marquis, when you think about taking that next step, because of course, college football is not the end all be all. I'm sure you have aspirations beyond college. Well, what are the things that you really want to be able to do this year? And is there a pro athlete that you look at and you model your game after? You say to yourself, I want to try to add what they have to my game.
So I really try to model my game after Aaron Donald and Chris Jones. I'm a big fan of Khalil Mack also. So it's really just watching them, watch how Aaron Donald uses his hands, and watching how Chris Jones play the run and stuff like that, and just being dominant and getting creative knockback and stuff like that. So I actually I'll be looking up videos and stuff like that, seeing what they do, just seeing what I can do to pick their brain and stuff like that. And then really with Khalil Mack, even though I'm not on the edge for real. It's just, you feel me, having more of a mentality. You feel me, having a mentality of going out there to work every day and going to be different.
Marquis, in practice, you talked about your sack goals that you want to exceed next season, and in practice, you guys got a new guy back there at quarterback to chase around in Robbie Ashford. Now there's a lot of mobile QBs in our league. From a defensive line standpoint, can you talk a little bit about what it's like chasing a guy like Robbie around? I mean, I've heard he's got some slides on him. But can you give us an idea of what kind of speed he's working with?
When Robbie at quarterback, it's like, all right, when we get close to the quarterback, we supposed to fade off a little bit. But with Robbie, you can't do that. Because at any moment he could just get up out of there. You feel me? So when chasing Robbie around, you got to let him know you're around. So you got to tag him on the hip or something like that. Then get out of the way so he can throw the ball or something. But really, it's more about containing him for real. It's more about containing him. So really, he ain't got nowhere to go. If you do have to run, it'll be straight, and that'll be more difficult.
So when he's at quarterback, it kind of changes from a defensive line standpoint. It changes how you guys play.
Rush,
yeah, for sure.
It definitely changed how you rush. I wouldn't say you got to rush more conservative. You feel me? You still want to be aggressive and do what you need to do to get back there and you feel me, make them more comfortable in the pocket. But you can't get out your rush lane. You got to stay in your designated rush lane. You need to you gotta do what coach tell you to do, but still still bring your own funk to it.
All right. So speaking of doing what coach tells you, you have a new defensive line coach this year. What kind of guy is that coach in the room with you all? Because I know it's different personalities, but what's the room like now for the defensive line with that new coach in there?
Really having a new D-line coach, it forces us as players to be closer with each other as a D-line. It forces us to be closer because this is our third D-line coach in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's like it's nothing to take away from Coach Barber at all. You feel me? But it's like things seem so temporary, and the only thing that's not changing is just us. So it brings us together. You feel me? And we all buying in into what he's teaching us. You feel me? So if one person buying in, the next person go buying, then the next person and the next person, and we all starting to understand his concepts and stuff like that. Because when he first came in, we was looking at him like he was a little crazy. But once we got to the field and start seeing how things actually turn out, it started making sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what is that like for you? Because you said before you got to the field, it was. So is it concepts that he's talking about that were different? Is it just a film study?
It's techniques.
Mm-hmm.
The techniques. So we switching our techniques up and stuff, and it was almost like the opposite of what Coach Eason taught us. It's almost like the opposite of what Coach Eason taught us, and we was like looking crazy. We was like what, like why are we doing? We always ask why, and when we ask why, he always has an explanation. He always has an explanation, and he can also pull it up on film. And he talk about guys that he's coached in the past and had worked in the NFL and stuff like that too. One thing Coach talks about a lot is the NFL because he sent a few guys to the league, and one thing for sure, he's definitely proud of that, and he brings it up a lot in the meetings, and it shows that you feel me, he want good for us all.
So while we're on position groups, talk to me about team chemistry. This is a different feel from the coaching staff that recruited you. And we've heard a lot about competition, strength and conditioning. How do you think the team chemistry is going into this season? Like, you guys, you just feel like the team is together and headed the right direction?
We do feel we are together. That's one thing for sure. I don't think I've been a part of a team that's been more close. When it comes to workouts and stuff like that, like we're making sure everybody on time, even if we there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody on time. Like it's a standard. We all created a standard of hard work, and we all respect that too. So that just it naturally brings us in closer because we all out here, we working our butt off. And we all doing it together. And one thing Coach tell us, like when we breaking it down, we don't break it down on film. We break it down on the team because we all need each other at the end of the day.
Okay, so just kind of digging in a little bit more on team chemistry because you said that you don't know if you've been a part of a team that's been this close.
Yeah.
And it's been more about it sounds like maybe the team's a little bit more disciplined than before. Like the coaches are a little bit more disciplinarians.
The team definitely is more disciplined. But about the coaches being more disciplinarians, they don't really have to be on us like that. They don't really got to be all up our back and stuff for real. It's more like I said, you feel me, we all respect the way, you feel me, we all respect the standard. And you feel me, we do our best to, you feel me, be a part of the standard, do what we need to do.
Yeah, I like that. Are there any people, you're a senior this year, but are there any other people besides yourself that you feel like are standing out as leaders in that room? Like who's the rah-rah guy, the guy that's getting people fired up? Or are you that type of guy? Are you more just, I'm gonna let my play talk? What kind of guy are you in the locker room?
I feel like personally I inspire others just because my age, you feel me, what the type of knowledge that I have. I've been in college for 4 years, going on 5. So I understand, you feel me, what people been through and stuff like that. And when it comes on the field, I'm not as much as a vocal leader. You
Mm,
feel me? But when I get to making plays, that's when I start making noise.
mm.
That's when I start making noise. And I'm at any time, you feel me, even if I'm not on the field, I'm quick to give somebody a tip on, you feel me, how to do something better, what they missing, why they messing up.
Marquis, talk to me about film habits. Now, you mentioned coach pulling out film and showing you guys the technicals that he's trying to teach you on film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you guys are watching more film now under this new staff?
Definitely, I definitely do feel like we watching more film. When we watch film with purpose now. So instead of just going through each, you feel me, clip or whatever, we actually go to like an NFL clip.
Hmm.
We'll watch the play, and then we'll watch how it's supposed to be played, and then we'll watch ourselves doing the play.
Mm.
We'll watch
Mm.
ourselves doing the play, and really that comparison, you feel me, is that's more going towards the standard thing. You feel me? We got a standard of, you feel me, how we supposed to be good and everything, and really just I really say with watching the film and having purpose to it, it mean more, and it's not like we just in the room just sitting there.
Mm. So, to be clear, the coaches are pulling pro examples of execution
Yeah.
to help you guys model your practice habits.
Yes.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. So how much of that are you do you get into watch? Like, are you a film nerd? Like, what is your film life outside of what the coaches are asking? Like, what are you doing?
My film life outside of what the coaches are asking, I go and watch my clips and stuff, watch individual drills and stuff like that, and I also pay attention to some of my other teammates. You feel me? Some who I feel like, you feel me, maybe they could do this or that better than me, and I just, you feel me, go ahead and pick apart that film, see what they doing, and compare it to mine, and you feel me, just add what I need to add to my game.
All right. So, have you had an opportunity at all to talk to any of the young guys in the room, new guys into the room? So there's quite a few people outside of like Jason Jones who got there in the spring, but you've got
Mm-hmm.
um, the kid from Memphis that just got in. You've got Jeffrey Imba, who hasn't really been. He's been limited because of surgery. Like, what Iniche Sledge, true freshman guys in the room. What is it like trying to get the young guys into a place where they're able to contribute? And how do you feel like that progress has gone?
When it comes to just talking to them and stuff, they listen with open ears. They know it's never no pressure towards them, and it's always, you feel me, we want the best for our room, because at the end of the day we gonna need our numbers. We got strength in numbers.
Hmm.
So we was shorthanded on D line last spring, and these guys understand that they need to help. So when we talk to them and stuff like that, they just, you feel me, they listen with open ears, and it's really easy for real.
Mm.
Okay, so we heard rumor, and you can tell me, how true this is, that you guys have a new person on the line again in Jeremiah Wright. He's been back in the defensive line room. Is he back with y'all? What's up? Is he on the offensive line? What's going on?
He back on the D line.
Back on
Okay,
the all
Jeremiah
right.
Wright back
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
right
D
back
line.
on the D
How
line.
how has he been switching back over there?
Uh, he really liked the D line. They switched him over his freshman year during the COVID season.
Hmm.
They switched him over then. And then he played in the spring and stuff when Coach Easton got here. And right before his injury, he was doing his thing.
Hmm.
He was making noise. It was actually like a little we had like a little position battle going on back then, me and Jeremiah.
Okay,
And it was unfortunate that he got hurt, don't get me wrong. But Jeremiah, he was doing his thing. So it's more of a passion in D line when it comes
gotcha.
to Jeremiah.
Mm.
Okay.
That's what he want to do. He was going back and forth from O line and D line. He actually helped the O line bring a different attitude to practice. They started becoming more aggressive, more
Mm.
feisty and stuff, and just being like how O line should be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Uh,
O line got a whole new attitude now, for real.
I like to hear that.
Hey,
Uh,
I was going to say, was it just did you tell him you got tired of getting your ass whooped on the other side of that line and came and decided to come back to the winning side of the ball?
Nah. Nah. Really, it was really one of them things where we had a couple new guys coming in on the O line and even on D line too. And they say he talked to coach and everything. And Jeremiah told him like really what he really wanted to do. So you feel me? He wants to be with us on the D line.
All right, Marquis, it's that time. It's that time for you to tell us who you think is the fastest guy on the team right now. So we've got a lot of answers, a range of answers. The most interesting answer we've gotten has been Owen Papo is up there with the fastest guys on the team. In your estimation, who's the fastest guy on this team? Who's got the burners?
All right. All right. I ain't gonna answer your question just yet. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
The quickest guy on the team.
Okay.
The quickest guy on the team is for sure OP. Is for sure on.
Okay.
Definitely on. He been the quickest guy on the team since I first met him. I remember my first day, summer 2020. Man, he stretched fast. He stretched quick. Like he moves. He moves. But I'd say the fastest guy would be my boy DJ James.
DJ James, okay.
It would be DJ James. From watching them, it would be DJ. It was between DJ and Nehemiah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nehemiah's been coming up a lot, but DJ's name came up a couple times too. So
for sure.
That tracks with what we've been hearing about some of these guys in the defensive backfield. They said everybody back there is flying around. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that translates
now,
to the field.
On the offense, I say it's between Jay Fair and Dawson.
Okay. All right.
Jay Fair and Dawson.
Yeah, Jay Fair was pretty bullish when we interviewed him about this drill that you guys do, or there's a machine that measures acceleration over a certain amount of yards.
The 1080,
yeah. And so he said he was the fastest of the receivers every time they did it.
Oh, did he? He said that?
He said it. Is that what he said?
I ain't. Well, we don't be with them when they do that running. We don't be with them though. We be on our own thing, so I don't really know too much.
All right.
About their times and everything. But what I've known, what I've seen is between Dawson and him for sure on the offense. Shit.
Oh, yeah, like, they say Shed is get up too.
Okay,
but let's.
But one thing about Shed though, for sure, outside of speed, Shed can jump out the gym.
Okay.
Shed can jump out the gym.
All right. I didn't know he was able to get up like that, man. Okay.
He could hit his head on the ceiling if he wanted to.
All
right. So let's camp out here for a second though. Defensive line lining up. Y'all gonna run sprints. Who's the guy that's gonna finish first most times? Because he just I ain't saying we only sprinting one time. I ain't talking about going back and forth a whole bunch of time. Endurance.
Well, that's a foot race.
Y'all lining up and racing. Who's gonna get it?
I say it's between Kobe Wooden and this a sleeper right here, Tabechi or Kobe.
Okay, that's a big dude to be moving like that.
Really?
He's 6'5". Wooden 6'5" too. I didn't realize he was that tall.
Tabechi can run.
Okay.
Wow. Based on what you guys have been saying, it sounds like this is one of the fastest, quickest teams on paper Auburn has ever had. The names that keep coming up in terms of speed and the amount of guys that potentially are close to or already at 4.3 speed, it seems like there are a lot of guys who can move. And then on defense and online, a lot of sub 4.5 guys as well.
Yeah, we definitely be flying around. That's one thing for sure.
Okay, so quick question to round out the discussion about speed. Who's the slowest guy on the team? Listen, now, let me frame this up for you. It's a scary movie, and Michael Myers is after you. Who's going to get stabbed because they could not get away? Don't matter whether they on offense or defense.
But he's trying to decide who he's throwing under the bus right now.
Yeah, that's right. After you say, we'll tell you who the last guy we heard was the slowest.
It's definitely one of the O-linemen.
Okay, yep, all right.
Probably KJ.
Okay.
Probably Keandre, because Keandre Hughes, dude, but he can move a little bit. And Gardner Langlow.
Garner Langlow. Okay.
Gardner
All right.
Langlow.
Listen, we were told Brandon Council is moving backwards in time.
I forgot about that one. Council. I forgot about that one.
Okay. All right.
Council definitely can. He definitely could be faster.
All right. So I don't know if you know, we had an opportunity to sit down with Coach Harsin. And he talked a little bit about, we talked to Coach Harsin. He came on the show. We talked a little bit about you all's trip to go play paintball. Before I ask this question, were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, so this is what I want to know. Were you guys being malicious and going after the coaches during this game? Were you intentionally trying to light the coaches up? And
the coaches had their own team. It was a bunch of teams.
Okay.
And the coaches, they was all on one team.
Okay. So Coach Harsin says that you guys were trying to like
definitely. About then, Coach Pitt. Oh my God. Coach Pitt came out in like a juggernaut suit. He came out in a juggernaut suit, man. They say Coach Pitt was running up on folks, shooting them, took their gun. He took their gun. He running up. He got double paintball guns. And they say he was just firing off on people.
He went John Wick on him.
Hey, he was doing his thing. He was he was unstoppable until he ran out. He ran out and like in the middle of the field, and they just tore him up.
All right.
They just tore him up.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh man, I wish there was video of that. There probably is some video somewhere. They just hadn't let it loose.
It might be. It might be.
In the spirit of teamwork and competition, during that interview with Coach Harsin, he talked about a drill that the quarterbacks do that's kind of like a game called Make It Take It. And as long as you keep completing passes, you stay at quarterback. You get 16 reps. If you want to get all 16 reps, you got complete passes. Do you guys have anything like that you do on the defensive line where you have maybe fun ways that you guys compete?
Nah. They could throw all day. You feel me?
Right.
After like 4, 5 reps, 6, 7, 8, we get a little tired.
Yeah, right. For sure.
Yeah, but no. One thing we used to do, we did with Coach Eason. It'd be like he'd have like boxing gloves on, and we'd be like chopping our hands and stuff, and we'd have to like block him from hitting us. He'd like punches and stuff with the boxing gloves, like try to hit our head and stuff. We'd just have to deflect it. And if you get knocked out, you out. If you get bopped in the head, you out. Yeah. So that was really working on our hand-eye coordination and stuff, and being able to react to just other people's hands and stuff.
Do you feel like you guys are going to rotate a lot of guys in and out on D-line this year?
Yes. Definitely, yes. We got a lot of guys. We got nothing but fresh legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that brings me to a question about teams like Mississippi State, right? So last year you didn't play in the Mississippi State game, right?
I got a couple reps.
I know you were coming back off of your injury, so I didn't know how much you. But teams like Mississippi State, how much are you all getting yourself prepared to be able to play in those hurry up style situations with teams that just want to try to, keep the same unit out there on the field?
Do you mean Ole Miss?
No, Mississippi State, who are doing like the no huddle shotgun type of stuff. Ole Miss does that too.
Ole Miss. Yeah. Mississippi State wasn't doing too much of the no huddle for real.
Okay. I just know they were who's the coach Mississippi State?
Mike Leach.
Yeah, Mike Leach. I know he does a lot of pace with his stuff, but Ole Miss definitely does as well. But how much are you all trying to get prepared for teams that are going to try to speed you up like that? What do you all do to get ready for that?
Really, we already be prepared for it. Really, with our conditioning. Like I told you, Coach Pitt, he be killing us. he be killing us. It's one thing, and we honestly feel like we can handle almost anything on the field. Especially with the defense. As long as we rotate our guys, keep fresh legs, but one thing I would say, if not enough guys are available, it will take a toll on you.
Mhm.
Right.
It definitely will take a toll on you. It has no choice but to.
Is there any game that you have scheduled, circled on the calendar that you feel like we owe them one? Any game you're looking forward to getting some get back?
Everybody. No, for sure. No, really though, to answer your question, I say Penn State.
Mhm.
Definitely Penn State. Mississippi State. We don't supposed to lose that game. Bama for sure.
Always.
Without a doubt.
Even when you win that game, right? Like
yeah.
Georgia
for sure. One thing about the Georgia game, it was always a game. Like on defense, I had a different. I feel like I had a different mentality that game. Especially, I had a different mentality that game because back during the COVID season, 2020, that was the second game on the schedule, and that was like my first prime time game, and it was like the moment was big, and I ain't played too well. I was getting tossed around out there, so. Really, like last year, you feel me? I went into that game with like a whole different attitude. Like, hey, like I went into practice with a different attitude. Like, hey, it's time to strap your monkeys. Like you feel me? Ain't none of that no more.
Well, Marquis, we appreciate you joining us today to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing this spring and giving our listeners a little to look forward to this fall. Sounds like you guys got the competition going, got your weight up in the weight room, things headed the right direction. We'll be rooting for you this fall, so thanks for joining us. Well, that's it for another great edition of Building Rapport with our guy, Marquis Burks. Guys, if you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Rapport on most social media platforms. TW Rapport on TikTok. Fellas, we're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.
Word.